We are here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. You have found Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI, here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. We're in the event center. We have cars testing out on the track behind us. We got the carts right across the parking lot. What a great facility we have here in Avondale. Once again, I'm your coach for PRI, Rick Gailey, along with our insider, Renee Nadeau. And we're getting ready to take a look at our player of the week this week. Comes from Chalmette High School. Chalmette senior running back Mason Mitchell has been named the PRI SportsNOLA.com WHNO TV 20 and WGSO 990 AM Player of the Week for Week 10. Mitchell rushed 32 times for 229 yards and 5 touchdowns in a 34-6 victory over Higgins to clinch a share of the 8-5A district championship for the Owls. It is the first district title for Chalmette since 2004, and the Owls are in the state playoffs for the first time since 2010. Mitchell is coached by Jason Tucker, and he will be honored at the year-end meeting of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club on Tuesday, December the 15th at the Cannery in New Orleans. And as we've talked about throughout the show, this is the first week of the playoffs. And even though some schools have byes, there are plenty of great matchups in the local area. And Renee, let's take a look at some of the matchups starting in Division I. Once again, the area Week 1 playoff matchups. In Division I, we have 10th seeded St. Augustine versus 7th seeded Holy Cross.
Justice McCoy, quarterback for the Purple Knights, over 2,100 yards through the air. Giovanni LaFrance, a Tulane commit, leads that defense. Freshman quarterback for Holy Cross, Chandler Fields, has done a great job, and he's got a pair of running backs, Ashton Smith and Trey Turner, rush for over 1,000 yards collectively. That'll be quite a matchup.
And as in Division I, with only 10 teams, there's a lot of rematches, which also includes the next game, number 9 Shaw at 8th seeded Jesuit.
And that game could have gone either way, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when these teams meet up again. They just met a couple of weeks ago. It'll just be who wants it more. There won't be a lot of fancy play there, a lot of changing of coaching. It'll be interesting, Rick.
It's going to come down to execution.
That's it.
Turnovers, and the kicking game can never be discounted. In Division II, we have from Houma, number 9 seed Vanderbilt Catholic, traveling down to Drew Brees Family Field, number 8 Lusher Charter.
And Lusher Charter, Rick, 6-4 this year. Ari Broussard leads this attack for Lusher, and also wide receiver Simeon Thomas has done a great job. But that team has really worked very hard to get to 6-4.
They have come a long way in a very short period of time. Great job by Lusher. In Division III, number 16 North Lake Christian at number 1 seeded Riverside.
Riverside, 8-1, 32 points a game on offense, only allowing 14.5 on defense. For North Lake Christian, Joshua Landry, 1,400 total yards rushing, 15 scores, so that would be an interesting tie-up between those two.
You know, North Lake Christian's going to put forth their best effort, but Riverside certainly deserves their number 1 seed, and they are absolutely loaded. In Class 5A, 20th seeded Chalmette, who we just had their Player of the Year this week, playing a rematch against number 13 Landry Walker.
And Landry Walker will be on the show next week. Quarterback Keaton Thompson, a top recruit for 2017, Tevin Bush, a running back, and so they will bring an explosive offense. Chalmette, led by Mason Mitchell, 1,572 yards and 25 touchdowns for the Owls this year.
The Owls and the Charging Buccaneers tied for first place in their district with the Arid Patriots, so it's highly unusual that co-champions would meet in the first round of the playoffs, but when you're this spread out, that's going to happen. Number 21 Thibodaux, the Tigers are traveling to the Skippers, and Mandeville seeded 12th.
Mandeville led by the Orgeron Twins on offense, a defense allowing only 13 points per outing. For Thibodaux, wide receiver Jonathan Carter, outstanding target, 243 yards and 2 touchdowns in 1 game against Destrehan.
And in Class 4A, 28th seeded Belle Chase, the Cardinals are traveling to New Orleans to play number 5, the Warren Easton Eagles.
The Eagles an 8th seed, Rick. Clyde Christ, the wide receiver recruit, leads that Eagle offense, 41.5 points per game. Bell Chase, Tulane commit linebacker Casmi Antoine leads that Bell Chase defense. It'll be interesting to see what happens there as they tie up.
And Easton was in the finals last year. Not as much was expected out of them this year, but they really did a great job. They're playing their best football right now.
They really are. Tony Hall's going to be with us in December with the Warren Easton Eagles, but he is loaded with a lot of talent, and Tony has got a great staff at Warren Easton.
And they know the way to the Superdome. In Class 2A, Fisher, 24th seed, playing South Blackman, who is a number 9 seed.
And that's two teams just trying to make the next step, Rick, and be interesting to see which one comes out of that, but two teams pretty evenly matched.
And that is a brief look at the local teams here in week 1 of the playoffs. We have some teams with byes. The team that we had this week on the show, the Curtis Patriots, have a bye this week. Archbishop Rummel also has a bye. We had them on the show earlier in the year as well. So the one thing, even in this playoff format, Renee, as messed up as it is, the kids will get out there, play in every game. You'll get the best effort out of every player.
Because you know as anybody, Rick, when those seniors take that helmet off for the last time, that is, in many cases, for the last time. None of these kids played since they're 5 years old. This game is important.
That's the finality of the playoffs. When we come back, Tyrone Leggett as a special guest from Nebraska, the Saints, and the NFL. We're going to be right back here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale after this. Time out.